cool that the first half of the stage just never existed. That's really neat.
That's crazy.
Well, two teams, not two teams, many teams will have some games today. Some of them have started a few weeks ago, and some, as we said, have started today. So let's take a look at the matches we have for you in our NA region. Sakura going up against Supernova is the first one on the docket. And then we got GK against Team Liquid. This ought to be a good one. And we finish off the day with Nightmare and Extinction. So let's dig into our first match of the day. Starting with Sakura and Supernova. We've seen both these teams in action plenty of times. So let's talk about, are we done now? He's like, I'm out for this one. Not in.
See ya.
Okay.
Doesn't want to. He'll come back for GK and Liquid.
Not a Sakura enjoyer.
bro is trying to leave. What is happening with bro?
What's going on? Nothing to do with
Cats.
Are we?
The cat's officially taken over the stream.
Thank you.
Yeah,
okay,
I mean, look, Sakura, Johnny, how do you feel about this team going against Supernova? Because I know you want Supernova to win because you've got Ryan on your roster. But
okay, well, I wasn't going to disclose that. I'm an unbiased commentator.
But like there is a lot of highlight-worthy players on that team. Peace last week on Tracer, getting so many picks and so much value out of it too. And obviously Clear has been a pretty big standout for them as their new addition.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I mean they've talked about it as well. Just like Sakura, they could be knocking on the door of some of these better teams, right? And so, an impressive win last week, quite dominant. I mean, I think we've been treated to so many 3-0s in North America so far this stage, and it was Sakura taking down Extinction with an impressive 3-0 last week. So now the question is like, how can Sakura build on this? Can they really actually challenge some of the better teams in the region? Because based on what we've seen so far from Sakura, I think we're kind of leaning that way. They haven't had a good time against teams like GK, for example, Nightmare. But I think that Sakura, they're a team that knock in on the door of some of those better teams in the region.
They are indeed. They're going up against Supernova. Supernova having the displeasure of having to prep for 2 teams this week. So they have to split their time between Sakura, and then tomorrow they will be playing SSG. So that obviously does require more prep. Lots of well-known faces on this squad.
Yeah, 100%. Look, if SSG season starts tomorrow, then, that's great. It might be bad for Supernova, though. But I think Supernova has a really good opportunity to take SSG down and maybe kick them while they're down. I think they have been a fairly impressive roster. Look, they had that little... I wouldn't say hiccup, but like a kerfuffle with Ryan not being here, so they had Foles and Astro on like Genji and DPS and stuff, and it was kind of meh, and you kind of expected it to be that way. But as soon as Ryan kind of steps back in, they're probably going to start feeling themselves. Like this team, and especially Ryan on Tracer, is super scary. And with this Freya nerf too, I don't think it's going to really help them a whole bunch, but it's not going to hurt them either. I think Jutsu's a really good Sojourn player as well. I'm sure they're going to rather stick with the Freya. I think Freya is still pretty OP.
I was about to say, I don't feel like I saw those nerfs in effect.
Yeah.
That was just a tickle to the numbers. It's not really... made it.
She can still two-tap people, which is what the whole kit is about and what the whole hero is about. So, you're chilling still, and I think Jutsu has been one of the standout Freyas in NA so far.
Yeah, and the team looked really cohesive last week. They had some great reactionary play, punishing mistakes from the Dilducks, who were, rocking up with so many vibes. They struggled against the Zarya, which immediately prompted the Zarya ban in the next. Yeah. Perhaps that was a little overreaction there, perhaps. I'm very interested to see how those two teams will... how do you say, square up? No, match up against
they can
one another.
They can square off.
Yeah, I want to see how they match. Words, things. I want to see them play and how they stack up against one another. I eventually got there, and I'm very proud of myself. And
Johnny, your cardigan is confusing Zoe, bro.
It honestly is just throwing me off
too many
my game.
That's right. Whoa,
enough of that. It's time for the game. It's time for the game. Take it over. Take it away. Do the thing. Do the casting thing.
We're going to do the thing. Sakura, Johnny, versus Supernova. It is a very nice cardigan, I will say. I like it, Johnny.
Thank you. Thank you,
look
Jack.
very cute today.
I can't believe Zoe roasted me like that.
What do you expect?
I'm not reading Twitch chat right now, but please be kind. I mean, come on now. Last week it was the polo shirt and everything. Like I'm just trying to watch some Overwatch.
Dude's dressing like a dad. He's going full dad core. I like it. It's good. Let's talk this series though, Johnny. Sakura versus Supernova. I did out you a little bit and said, you got Ryan on the fancy team right now, but like, how do you think this DPS head-to-head goes up? Because I think X10 has just consistently been phenomenal. I think the most consistent part of Sakura's roster and has been for a fairly long time. But Jusu is no slouch. This Freya head-to-head is going to be a little crazy. I think both teams are also going to want to run that Tracer. Like, there's going to be a lot of the Freya Tracers compositions coming into today's series, despite the nerfs.
Yeah, I think both damage matchups are going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to see Peace go up against Ryan in a potential Tracer matchup, of course. And Ryan, we know, prefers to play the Tracer as well. So I think we might go the full series just seeing both teams opting for that Tracer because they're both comfortable on it, right? But as you said as well, I'm curious to see if the Freya changes will do anything to what we're going to see in the meta. Because, like you said, Freya's still really good. But at the same time, there are a few of these hit scan players who prefer to genuinely play hit scan heroes, right? Like a Sojourn, you mentioned it. Jutsu, phenomenal on the Sojourn before Freya was released, right? So it'll be interesting to see in this matchup specifically if a couple of those hit scan players have been like, look, I just want to play Sojourn. Can you just please let me play Sojourn? Freya got nerfed. You can argue whether the nerfs are effective enough. But there will definitely be a handful of players in OWCS who will be like, I don't want to play Freya anymore. I'm over it.
I mean, we kind of already seen that as well. Like, you look at teams like Twisted Minds and even like Quartz and stuff. Like, hey, we want to play a Sojourn rather than the Freya. Like, it's still a very good, consistent hero. I think Freya has... Weirdly, I think Freya has higher highs than Sojourn, which is weird to say, because I think Sojourn's one of the highest skill cap heroes, but... just consistently landing the double hits on Freya. It's just like unlimited potential, right? Yeah, and like those margins have been cut down a little bit thanks to these nerfs, not being able to hover in the sky for as long, like updraft also having a extended cooldown. Like, but Freya's still insane. Like, even though she got nerfed slightly, I don't think it's really going to tip the scales. If it was more like a ranked nerf more than like an OWCS style nerf, you know what I mean? Let's have a look at Clear though. Hazard rollout as Astro rocks the ball. And no surprise, we're going to see this throughout the series. And like you said, Johnny, I doubt we're going to see a Tracer or a Freya ban consistently in this series. And, unfortunately though, Cinnabar gets slammed instantly and taken out. Unfortunate.
Yeah, quick little frag there. It'll be interesting to see if Astro's going to stick to this Wrecking Ball as well. I feel like both of these tanks, we haven't talked about it that much really, but Astro, a really good tank player here in this region, can play a lot of different heroes and Clear as well, but preferring the Hazard and the Diva. It's going to be Sakura looking to cap the points first, but Astro just shutting them down for the moment.
Yeah, nice little cap. Both Lucio's trading there, unfortunate, but all good, you can roll out rather fast. It's such a dominant spot for the Freya as well, Johnny, being up on this high ground. A bit easy though for Astro to disrupt, so X10 does have to watch her back. Oh, what a shot. Nice.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, this is also a map, Jaws, where like Freya is really strong on Ilios in general, right? So, we talked about Sojourn and stuff like that. Like, this is not the map where maybe you're bringing out the Sojourn, right? Like, you're going to play the Freya at least on Ilios.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, the amount of high grounds that you can control is just absurd. And also, Astro is going to be kind of frustrated dealing with Clear too, because those spiked walls, the jagged walls, like, actually getting on top of someone, sure, it's pretty easy for the Wrecking Ball, but the jagged wall can stop you in your tracks and also stop your momentum as well. And then the Freya just double bolts you and you have to back off. Like, Astro's job is going to be incredibly hard here.
Yeah, pressure's on Supernova to get something going, right? Like, Ryan and Astro, they need to combine for some kind of effort. We're seeing a bit of a flank here, but they're just poking, they're just looking right now, and Renko finds a nice early pick. That can open things up for Supernova.
Yeah, X10 being a little bit more safe now. Bolus in hand, however. There comes the slam from the high ground. But the Bolus holds Astro. Basically takes his ability to actually move at all. Renko comes up with a second kill of the fight, though, on the Kiriko. X10 now struggling to keep herself up. High ground now controlled by Supernova. But Sakura with a decent early lead, Johnny. Gonna get 70+%, although they're still fighting. Renko forced to clear. But Jusu staying alive, just punishing Peace there for staying around on the point. And that'll be, what, 79% there for Sakura.
Yeah, big uphill battle here for Supernova to try and get back into this control point. They didn't spend any ultimates there, so that's a good early start. Sakura dropping it sooner rush meanwhile, so ultimate advantage here for Supernova. Let's see if they can find an early pick. Ryan's gonna struggle with the pulse bomb against a Kiriko, of course, but Jutsu maybe? Nice, well-timed Bola could make all the difference here.
Ryan hiding out in the little Sauna there for a little while on the swimming pool. Oh, Peace already dead. Renko with another big kill onto Peace. Honestly, both these Traces have had a really tough go of it.
Yeah, Rampant's a nice pick there. I mean, Renko's been popping up so far. I feel like in all 3 fights that have taken place so far, like Renko's found a pick or 2, so that's going to help the dive coming through for Supernova.
It's kind of tough for the Tracer if you think about it as well. Like, Tracer very good at marking someone, pressuring people down, but you are marking down a Kiriko or a Freya that could like 1-tap you or almost 2-tap you, and then also the other Tracer. So yeah, finding a pick like that is perfect for Ryan. Supernova in a good spot, Johnny. I mean, clear super low, hardly any CDs left, and look at the positioning of Sakura right now. A downpour does end up getting laid down on the point, Johnny, but Clear's got no backup. Snowball comes in, luckily though, with the sound barrier to keep Clear alive, but look at the pressure. Now the Mind's on the point as well. 2 support ultimates though, used for Supernova, so maybe Zed can get something popping in the next fight with their own, but Sakura now on the back foot. Ryan with the pulse bomb could make this difficult as well to approach.
Yeah, it got so expensive so fast for Supernova because they decided to drop both of those support ultimates, and you think, yes, you gotta trade the sound barrier, but Renko drops a Kitsune Rush here as well. And now coming down to potentially the last fight here, like Zed's going to build this Kitsune Rush, Ryan's sitting on a pulse bomb, but that's about it. X10 coming up on this Bola. Someone's gotta step up here for Supernova.
I mean, are they going to be able to build Rush? Donny is 20% away, and OT's fast approaching.
Grapes.
Good kill, though, onto Grapes. That's going to start the fight pretty well. 4v5 on the point. Ryan dashing into that mini health pack. Has got a pulse bomb still, as Renko just chunking away at Clear. Although the Spike Guard is going to make sure he takes almost 0 damage. There's the Rush eventually coming through. They managed to keep the point alive as X10 comes up with a kill. Oh, Astro goes off the map. Just tucks himself down as X10 finds another. There could be a touch here. Grapes going down first. Johnny does mean the Lucio's alive to get this final OT touch.
Yeah, Grapes has a touch here, and Astro will be quick to follow up on the Wrecking Ball here as well. But it's going to be a tough fight for Supernova.
Touch. Couple of percentage points away. There it is. Grapes on the point. Manages to get out of there. Or maybe that was Ryan. Regardless, though, they managed to secure OT, but a pulse bomb onto the Wrecking Ball. And now no real lives remaining for Supernova in this round. And so Renko, he's found one, but I'm not sure Kiriko versus 5 is going to do much else. There it is. Sakura securing first round, although Supernova with a rather miraculous comeback, Johnny. Get it to 99.
Yeah, Supernova, they didn't really have any room for error after they, forfeited 80% on the control point, and then they made that one fight so expensive when they dropped double support ultimate. They didn't really give themselves any outs to win that control point. So Supernova with a nice effort, obviously, to get to 99%, but it felt like they let that round get away from them.
No real change, I'd imagine, for Clear. Hazard obviously got that buff a little while ago as well with the extra lifesteal, which is kind of nice. Have you seen any kind of dip in play for Freya in like ranked or anything like that?
Well, we talked about it. We talked about it before the match, but I was.
Oh yeah, you've been away.
So I'm coming back. I'm like, you tell me, Jack.
That's it. Well, I've only seen Freya, to be fair. Again, I don't really expect that to change.
Banned so much.
Yeah, it's like permaban in every single game that I've been playing. Unless there's one person that's like, no, we gotta keep Freya. Like I want to play Freya so bad.
Yeah. I have had some teammates. They have let me play Freya if I select Freya as my preferred hero, but I can't say that I followed through on my promise.
The Rhine Force Freya. I bet it goes crazy. Renko again, by the way, taking another first blood there. Peace ends up falling to the Kiri. In fact, both Kiris getting kills, although more of a team effort there from Sakura to kill Astra.
Yeah, they're contesting the point so far. Still a little bit back and forth. Supernova, without Astro here, like you lose so much, presence onto the point, so you can play around Sakura. Here is Astro now back again, so this will be go time for Supernovas here. See if we can get a people to Ryan goes down. Like, this is so much control cap for Sakura already.
Yeah, they got it super early. Like, Supernova kind of... I guess they were just waiting for Jutsu to find a pick, right, or Ryan to set up. And they got the cap super early, and then it was like a free 15%, and Supernova on the back foot. And you saw Jutsu's positioning throughout a lot of that fight as well, like quite far back.
Yeah, quite far back. I mean, if you're playing the Wrecking Ball as well, Jack, you need to keep presence onto the point, because this is what a Wrecking Ball gives you, like a lot of survivability. But Astro goes down early, and now Sakura's at 50%, and we're just poking around here, like, you know, Supernova, they aren't really doing anything. They don't got this dive going, haven't been able to isolate someone, and here goes Astro, died again.
Yeah. You see, Astro ended up going for a slam on the point, and then the health bar just slowly but surely chunked down by the Kiriko, by the just everybody really just focusing down Astro to make sure that there's no space created.
Yeah, this ball hasn't worked out. Hasn't worked out for them. I mean, I'd rather see them with a hazard at some point, right, to try to neutralize the tank matchup, but here they go. But he's trying to pick up Renko.
Already, and that's the forced recall onto Ryan. There's 2 ults available for Supernova. They throw a pulse bomb out, but Ryan doesn't get anything, and now we're in final fight. Downpour connects, and Johnny, as quick as it started, as quick as it's over, that's Sakura taking the map. Like, Supernova, the Wrecking Ball comp, just not working on Ruins. On the map, you'd expect to do fairly well. There is mines available for Astro, a last dish attempt, a last Hail Mary to be thrown in, but booped away from the Mega Health Pack, so can't even get the retouch. What a shutout round there from Sakura. That's a little 1-0. To start the series.
Yeah, beautifully played. I mean, they did intentionally shut down the Wrecking Ball, so you have to give them credit for that effort. Astro had a really tough time on the Wrecking Ball because it was targeted and focused so much by Sakura. At the same time, though, like Supernova, you know, they gotta help him out. You're on a timer essentially, so Ryan, you know, on the Tracer has to time his flanks to get in there and try to get some picks as well. I think Supernova relatively quiet besides trying to claw themselves back onto that Lighthouse.
What do you think needs to change? I mean, yeah, Lighthouse looked way closer. But the Astro Wrecking Ball, it was just not popping on Ruins.
Yeah, it just didn't work out for them. I mean, immediately you're thinking you gotta go away from the Wrecking Ball, right? And I doubt we'll see them perhaps doubling down on the Wrecking Ball on other maps here now when they get loser's pick. Another thing to note as well is, you know, D.Va was obviously banned here as well, so Clear will be able to play one of their comfort picks moving forward throughout the rest of this series. So bans will definitely have an impact as this series progresses as well, because now Sakura, you know, they've shown they can play the hazard, but Clear has the option to go back to the D.Va as well if they'd like to.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any DPS bans at all throughout this series. There's just no way. I think both squads are very consistent on them. We'll see if Sakura... where do you ban if you're Sakura here? So Supernova can't ban the D.Va. Claire can go back to that if they go to like a Gibraltar or any kind of fast map. Do you see Sakura maybe responding with a support ban? Just try and put pressure on the backline? Like, hey, maybe you don't play Kiriko here. Maybe you don't play the Lucio. Like, force them into like a double flex.
Yeah, we'll have to see actually, because I feel like Sakura, when they often have first ban, they like to protect support ban, because Cinnabar likes to play that Lucio, of course. So when they can, they like to get a support ban out of the way to protect Cinnabar, allow them to play that Lucio. But here against Supernova, you know, maybe we could see them ban out something like a Lucio then, you'd think, right? But I think it's a little bit up in the air. I'm a bit undetermined so far as to where the bans will go.
For maps, though, you're like, okay, if Clear really wants to play D.Va, although it's like D.Va and Hazard right now, both fairly strong. There's and in this map pool as well, Johnny, you're like, okay, maybe you go to Circuit Royale, like you can't play Hazard as well because of all the poke. D.Va a little better at taking space in that regard because she has Matrix, and Thruster's pretty easy to get the high ground. But it's going to be New Junk City, so more of a rush style for Supernova. Maybe you could even just go back to what you like playing before, something like Astro on Orisa, like full rush, so we don't have to deal with an annoying Hazard who does kind of get beaten up by the Orisa. And same with the D.Va as well, to be fair. This actually makes more sense.
Yeah, you're not facing Asaria in this series. At least so we think, right?
I mean, maybe.
I've actually played against Clear Asaria in my ranked games, and that was a terrible matchup for me because I got dominated. But those are the kind of heroes that Clear likes to play, right? You know, playing some of the Hazard, D.Va, Asaria. Then again, like I think last week was a bit of an outlier when Dildogs pulled out the Zarya. I don't think we'll see it repeated in this series. But yeah, I do like the call out of Astro playing more Orisa. And I feel like that's where North America has trended in general. Like you've seen even like pretty good dive teams, they've trended towards, we're going to play more brawly, whether it's integrating like Juno Brig into their lineup or playing stuff like Orisa, Ramatra. So I just feel like that's where the region has kind of trended over time. And maybe New Junk City, that's just further proof that Supernova think that despite the fact that, you know, Ryan's fantastic Tracer and all this, like we want to lean more heavily into the brawlier kind of compositions.
Orisa is just, it feels like a default in a way. It's like, if you want to play Rush, I was like, dude, it's just like the character is just fairly linear in a regard. Like, okay, we know how to play around the Orisa, and okay, dude, was it really gonna come out? Really?
Whoa. I mean, they are having nightmares about last week, Jack. Sorry for interrupting you, but that is I was peak surprised.
Maybe they're that scared? Surely
I think
Sakura wasn't thinking about Zarya. They're definitely going to play Orisa, but like surely they didn't think Sakura goes Zarya. I mean, clearly they did, but maybe it's just a mental thing. It's like, okay, we don't really care what they play, but like let's just ban the demons and we're good.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting though, because a Juno ban on the other side means that we'll probably see something like a Lucio Kiri, right? So it's going to change the brawl matchup a little bit here. It's going to be a bit more explosive. So this is going to be, I can't believe the Zarya ban come out. I'm like stumped, Jack. I can't believe we're banning Zarya now in OWCS. This is where we're at. Things I did not expect going into stage 2.
I mean, yeah, that is a little crazy. Honestly, I would love to see a little bit more Zarya being played. I think Zarya is a really fun hero to watch. Big grab is very cool. Unfortunately, she's not the strongest hero. It doesn't have armor, which sucks, and then also just kind of gets blown up through bubbles. So, unfortunate. But this is also what we expected from Sakura too. Clear on the D.Va.
Yeah, I'm a pretty simple man, Jack. I'm just like, the more offensive tools a tank has, the more fun the character is, which, you know, as a Reinhardt main, that might really sound, you know, might be kind of, I forget what the word is. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, I want to see more Zarya too. It's really fun. You know, Dallas Fuel, Hanbin bubbling in, Sparkle on the Reaper.
On the Reaper, yeah. Dude, it can happen. One day, we'll get the Bebe matter back again. One day. When Reaper Guy isn't blown instantly up by the Freya, who is 15 different, like, movement CDs.
Backbone last year.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, look, if we see a Reaper meta, the problem is it's just going to be pure brawl, and it will be like Sim as well, and it will just be just nightmare fuel to watch, to be fair. So maybe we don't want Reaper and maybe not meta coming back. All right, well, Astro taking a lot of frontwards damage, luckily though for the Orisa. Pretty easy to negate a lot of that. Ryan, though, opens up the fight with a kill onto Peace. There is a small capping from Sakura, again, kind of sneaking these fights away, these points away. But XN goes down to Ryan. Again, this is what we expect from Ryan, and good for your stonks, Johnny. Picking up big kills on the Tracer.
Left me worried, yeah. But I think this is a great matchup as well. You're playing the Tracer into the Genji and the Freya here as well. So Ryan really has it on him here to start performing and have a lot of impact in this second map here. Was relatively quiet on Ilios, I thought like. Couldn't really follow up on Astro, but this is where Ryan should start to shine.
Oh, nice kill onto Renko there. Wow, that must have been a perfect slash dash or a slash shuriken to the head there onto Renko. Just disappeared, Anno, and XN cleans up the kills. Wow, this is a very definitive fight there from Peace. Looking good on the Genji. Again, we said kind of Ryan and Jutsu, Peace and XN were going to be playing the Tracer and the Freya. But Peace, we've seen him week after week, right? Play the Genji. It looks clean. It looks really nice. And I think Genji is really good into these comps too. Being able to force out the Swift Step from the Kiriko is just so important and leaves them so vulnerable as well.
Yeah, we talked about Peace's Tracer, but I think we didn't give enough credit to Peace flexibility actually, because we've seen them play the Pharah, Sombra, May even at times on Circuit Real, right? So Peace definitely is flexible and opens things up with another pick onto Renko.
Okay, Renko, that wasn't a rush, Jax. All good. But unfortunately, for Supernova, that rush got absolutely nothing. Renko instantly killed. As soon as Peace sees Renko, it's like enemy number one. It's a little wild, actually. Renko doing fantastic work in the previous map, getting a lot of early first kills. Has just been shut down over and over by Peace, and that is going to be the first point over to Sakura.
It just looks effortless for them. I mean, they invest a Kitsune Rush, and they are able to find these early picks. Peace is doing a brilliant job on the Genji so far. And Supernova, they're kind of just caught slacking now for a little bit. It feels like Sakura is just playing it with better pace. They're finding these picks early into fights, and they're making things cheap when it comes to the ultimate bank. So now, leading into the second point, you got 4 ultimates ready to go.
They're catching on the rotation, Johnny. I mean, the Tracer just dies here. Ryan just maybe gets away, but this is a lot of time wasted. No, Clear? I mean, what's that? Clear, Peace, and Cinema are chasing down Ryan. They lose positioning on the point, and actually they lose Z2, so not the best trade now. Bolus is going to come out, connect with the Lucio, but a quick cleanse from Renko does make sure that ultimate is completely negated. A beat blade, though, from Peace is going to force a beat in kind from Grapes. Peace is going to try and chase the Lucio, but can't quite actually secure the kill, and Grapes gets some revenge. A nice boot kill onto Peace. Eventually, Sakura kind of put in their place as a DMEC onto Clear will mean Supernova claim that first point, that first cap.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward fight there because you got Ryan, obviously, but it was quite far away from the point, so Ryan able to make it back there in time. Helps trade out the pick as well, and Supernova actually get on the board here, so I thought it was quite scary for Supernova there. Sakura, they were trading ults, and it looked like they were going to capitalize on that early pick onto Ryan once more, but Sakura, they end up capping point B here, and they got another Kitsune Rush ready to go.
So for Ryan paying a little bit more pace now, like doesn't want to get caught out again, a little bit scared actually of Peace. Tag team duo of Beast and Cinnabar has just been so annoying. Oh, God. Oh, I mean, Riot just got absolutely schooled by Peace. That was a perfect dash right-click combo. Instantly takes down the Tracer. No chance to recall. There is a rush on the point as well for Supernova. So, despite that kill, Supernova is still going to capitalize on that with ults, with the ult advantage. Sakura might just end up losing this point, Johnny. Supernova, they got a pulse, they got a Terror Surge, and Sakura got nothing in the bank. They get this rush online maybe, but Clear's already going to get DMEC'd, so there's no chance in this fight now. A completely flip from first point, Johnny. This is a 99-0 for Supernova. Now they are in the driving seat. They are the dominant ones.
And Ryan has to be so thankful because getting picked so many times, few different fights there, and Supernova are able to capitalize and win out without him in 4 versus 5 situations. Great job by Supernova, equaling the points here on New Junk City. But man, Ryan's gotta be more respectful, you know, can't be wasteful with the blinks and get picked like this, because it's really going to set Supernova back throughout the rest of this map.
Yeah, I mean, this is the second time in a row he's been chased out really early on. We see if Peace can do the same thing here. Just mark the Tracer. A big rush available, though, from Zed, so they are playing up at an angle where they could just pop it and just run them down, although going to be a little bit more respectful now as the point unlocks and they get the cab.
It's a rush?
Yeah, rush on the high ground. Big Suzu as well, just trying to help Astro in the front line. Astro ends up just getting focused down. A little Suzu there onto the back line too. I mean, look, Zed that entire time was just free firing and able to heal up the front line. And Astro went in, tried to create space with that Terror Surge. They threw 3 ults into that fight, Johnny, and got absolutely nothing from it. And Sakura sitting on a sound barrier. They're also sitting on a bolus as well as this blade. Like, this is as back and forth as it can get. Supernova are going to struggle to get back into this without investing heavily.
Yeah, great job by Clear. They're eating the bola shot there as well. And now Supernova, I mean, you pretty much have to invest both support ultimates here, which is going to favor them in this fight.
Oh, beat the dice. Yeah, Jutsu ends up dying to a bolt shot from halfway across the map. A sound barrier comes in from Grapes, but Johnny, it's all over already. This point's going to go Sakura's way. They've just ran out of gas. They've ran out of steam. Both support ults invested, and Peace has saved this blade for the next point. Astro's going to down super late. Renko TP's away, but this point's all but done, Johnny.
Yeah, Peace is having a fantastic game so far, opening things up time and time again here for Sakura. Supernova, they're just not even able to take these fights. 5 versus 5. When was the last time you took a 5 versus 5 fight? It's one member getting picked one after another going into these fights when they're dropping the first initial ultimate. Sakura, they're just putting so much pressure onto Supernova. You have to be so careful walking up here. And Jutsu going to make the swap over to the Cassidy.
Goes a bit of like desperation, a bit of comfort, honestly. Getting kind of schooled by X10, like Peace also checking Ryan, so Cassidy a bit of an added layer of protection. This time though, Ryan does find a kill. Cinema goes down, so she's not going to be available for this point. Supernova, they're going to end up getting the cap. Ryan with a nice stick. Okay, head still firmly in the game.
Yeah, there we go. Ryan opening things up. Back-to-back fights there. And Jutsu making this swap to the Cassidy. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. Potentially some of these hit scan players favoring non-Freya heroes and Jutsu swapping over to this Cassidy. I feel like, you know, maybe some frustration there as well. Doesn't feel like they're having impact on this Freya, but with Cassidy, maybe they can be a bit more direct in dealing with Peace on this Genji.
Just so many ults though. Franco can get this rush. They're going to be able to at least match it, but you got to be scared of Peace's blade right now. He's on a nice little off angle too. Here comes the rush on the point. He's going to get matched instantly there by Supernova, but Jutsu just gets blown up. Blade's going to get pulled, and that's the TP. That's the Suzu gone. And Peace now hunting for Renko, who's actually just completely out of the fight. Oh, I don't know how much Renko healed there, but it couldn't have been a lot, as Astro and Grapes left to fend for themselves on the point, as Renko is just forced out the fight completely by that blade.
Yeah, it feels like Renko hasn't had a lot of value from these Kitsune rushes at all here on New Junk City. I think that's potentially the third where Renko's gone down relatively early upon using it, and now a lot of pressure onto Grapes on this Lucio. Last time Grapes committed the sound barrier, one of the teammates died early, it was Jutsu. Grapes needs to get value with his sound barrier to keep his team alive, giving him an opportunity to close this point out.
She's the ping onto X10. She's like in the skybox right now on this point. Bowler shot available. Deadeye though could be used for a little bit of space. Taxi there from the Lucio too. Matrix should eat most of it. Can't, surely there's not a kill. Okay, yeah, doesn't even end up pulling the trigger on it, but both sound barriers are gonna come in. They're gonna connect with everybody, but it's Peace that goes down first. Now Jutsu in a little bit of trouble. Combat rolls away, is clear, tries to go for the solo kill, but the backup has arrived for the DPS. 84% in building now for Sakura's Jutsu is just fighting for their life there versus 4. In fact, the entirety of Sakura just end up foregoing the point and actually just focus down one member at a time. They end up losing it, Johnny, but they're in full fighting force. Clear ends up getting the remake. There's a swap from Astro over to the Ram, but this is final fight. This is final touch now as Grapes ends up falling. A rush on the point. It is now inevitable for Supernova to lose. I mean, Sakura are just going to block them at the door. Sakura end up taking that map 3-1. They get match point in the series 2. Apart from that 1 point, Johnny, this felt super one-sided. Sakura just sweeping Supernova.
Yeah, they're looking fantastic so far and definitely seem like the best team out of the rest. You know, we talk a lot about the top teams in this region, Liquid, Nightmare, GK. But Sakura, they're kind of knocking on the door with performances like this. Peace with another great performance on the Genji here on New Junk City and really taking it, making Supernova frustrated the way they're getting picked early in these fights. I thought the last fight actually, that Supernova, they played quite well around Peace's Genji. They wait for Peace to commit on the Genji, but they turn, find that pick with the help of the Cassidy. But Astro kind of gets left on the point alone on the Orisa, and the fight just breaks down, and Sakura are still able to get away with it. So Supernova, they were off to a pretty rough start here on New Junk City. They didn't look like themselves at all, Jack. They started to claw back into it, but Sakura, they're just a better overall team right now.
Yeah, it does feel like they're just inching above Supernova. I mean, that last fight, let's talk about that again real quick, because what happened was, okay, we end up committing to Jutsu. Jutsu finds a kill. Clear. It's like, oh, okay, we've lost mech. And then actually what happened was Sakura, just everybody wrapped, just left the point. It's like, okay, if we leave it and we lose it, that's fine, because that's one member committed to the point. We can then kill Jutsu, regroup, and then Clear is free to get mech back. And as soon as Clear gets mech back, and Astro is like coming back from spawn, like trying to get to the point as the Ram, there's nothing they could really do. They played that really well. Like, okay, we can leave the point, that's fine. We're so close to winning anyway, that if we get the flip, if they get the flip, it's fine. Because we can just regroup real fast, find these like straggling picks, and a Jutsu that has no CDs left on the Cassidy. It looks good. It looks like Sakura are playing like a hive mind right now. We're going to go into the third map. Supernova, maybe they ban a DPS at this point, you know, maybe we don't ban a Zarya. They can't anymore, obviously, but how do you end up banning on Runa Sapi, which is the map they've chosen? Do you ban a Genji? Do you ban even a Tracer? Like,
man, it's so tough, right? Because I feel like Supernova, they really don't want to take this Freya duel. I think you saw Jutsu with that swap of the Cassidy. They're just admitting, like, just please let me play anything other besides this Freya hero, right? Because so far Jutsu just hasn't had the impact, especially that I expected Jutsu to have. You know, played brilliantly in the promotion relegation series, but it's been a tough stage 2 for Jutsu so far because they haven't been able to play their comfort heroes. And yes, you have some impact with Freya here and there, obviously hit back-to-back consecutive shots. But when you're playing Freya, the reason it's such a high-skill hero, right, is because are you able to get value from Freya consistently, fight after fight? And that is where it gets difficult. Can you land consecutive take aims back-to-back in fight after fight? And so far, players like Jutsu haven't been able to do that, right? Whereas, you know, players like Chronic, who's just like, you know, star player,
Chronic
doing
dominates.
phenomenal for Nightmare, right? But I feel like Supernova, they haven't looked super comfortable taking these Freya duels, right? And so they're going to ban Hazard here, actually, which is quite interesting. Perhaps maybe even like a protect ban, again, because they'd probably like to play that Orisa or something like that, maybe even the Ramatra, right? But you know that Clear is going to favor the D.Va wherever they can, right?
Yeah, and you can't ban it because you already banned it on Map 1, right? So
exactly.
There's a Tracer for Sakura, so that takes away... I wouldn't say Ryan was like too much of a big threat, maybe towards the end.
Definitely,
but initially...
hero.
Yeah, definitely. Initially, he was getting kind of rolled by Peace. So where does Ryan pivot here? Where do Supernova find an avenue to get back in the series? Because we're 2-0, and apart from that one point, where the second point on New Junk City, they kind of got dominated. Let's jump onto Runa Sapi. A fairly decisive series so far from Sakura. And like you said, Johnny, definitely a team that is going to be punching up throughout stage 2. I mean, you look at their next games, SSG and Team Liquid. If they want to punch up, their time is week 5 and week 6, that is for sure. But if they get a win here, they're sitting at 3-2, which is firmly in middle table.
Yeah, Supernova backs against the wall here. Ryan, probably going to pivot over to that Genji to answer your previous question there as well. Ryan, you know, compared to some of these other flex damage players, I feel like Ryan has more of a limited hero pool, likes to play the Tracer, can play the Genji where possible as well. But, you know, we're not going to see these big Sombra swaps, I feel like, to try and shut down Clear on the D.Va, right? This time it's actually going to be Clear swapping over to the Hazard here. I could see it. I see the vision, Jack. Do you?
Yeah, the sorry. Okay. Nightmare fuel for Supernova. Zarya coming out for Clear. Hazard ban, D.Va available. Clear says no, not today. We're going Zarya, and what helps the Genji get in there? That's a bubble. Peace is going to be living rent-free in the backline of Supernova, Johnny.
Oh yeah, protected barriers, repair packs. Peace is going to get everything. And there you go, bubble straight away. Only 18% so far though, but Astro's taking
Astro is alone, by the way. Astro is completely alone. Okay. Okay, no play.
You want to swap over to the Winston or something?
I mean, yeah.
They literally ran the Orisa into Zarya for like 5 minutes last week, and they learned from their mistakes, Jax, because they're immediately going to swap over to Ramatra.
Okay. You live and you learn, Johnny, from week to week.
You do indeed.
But I fear, Johnny. I do fear that one Zarya player in your games, you know, that is just where it's on your team or their team. It's got like triple the amount of damage the DPS do. I fear Clear right now.
Yeah, Clear definitely one of those players who are praying for a Zarya meta. And while they're pulling it out here on Runa Sapi.
They flip map completely, by the way. And the bot has been stolen. Sakura needs a little rotate. Yeah, quick little rotation here. All good though, because you've got about 100 energy as Clear bubbles Peace in. They got Bottle Shot available as well. The Mrs. Form already gone, though Ryan takes down Peace. Okay, little revenge for the Genji. As Clear's now going to have a rather large problem actually getting out with energy. He's going to try his very best, although maybe just settling for some ultimate charge here. Just a little ring around the rosy with himself. One kill on the brig. It's all you need? Nope. Not even going to get granted. That's good flip though from Supernova. Okay, stealing the pot away and just handling Clear, kind of molding him like clay on the potter's wheel.
Yeah, great play there from Supernova. They're able to flip that bot, get positioning in their control, and they wait out a bubble or two from Clear. I feel like it's really going to come down to this Graviton Surge now. Obviously, one of the best ultimates in the entire game, but Clear needs to get value from this.
Orbital Ray. Oh, there's the grab. Hits 4, and that's easy cleanup for Peace. That Ray, oh, it's all so good, but when you're all grouped up like that, you can't really benefit from it. Lovely stuff there from Clear. Traded in, and dude, the damage you can do into the grab with the Freya is just unreal stuff. 50 meters, though, on the board from Supernova, and they've saved every ult apart from that Ray.
That sucks for Renko. I'm just going to say it. The fact you utilize that orbital ray, you're thinking that's going to be some healing to help keep us up, but the graviton surge sticks them in place and the ray moves away from them, so they got no value from that. Clear now moves over to the Orisa, recognizes that the Zarya into the Ramatra, not the duel they want to take, but getting value from that grab has really allowed Sakura now to get back into this map with
good dash.
control.
Peace has to dash away. Blade's going to get pulled as well. That brings in trouble. Grapes is going to get cut down there in the front line, but Ryan's going to do Peace one better. He's already got 2 kills with the Blade of their own, and now the Annihilation is going to just rip through the rest of Sakura. Nice stuff there. I mean, initially, Grapes and Cinnabar, they're trading rallies. They get a nice bash onto Peace, and Peace kind of stun-locked as Ryan just cleans up with a Blade. That's the one thing you need to do is the break there. Stun the other Genji when they're popping that Blade, but Ryan was just free to do as they liked. And that's Supernova getting checkpoint, Johnny, unless Sakura can come back.
Yeah, it's been a back and forth Runa Sapi so far. Both teams trading fights back and forth. And it's going to be an aggressive push here, actually, from Astro. Bola shot from Jutsun to extend here as well. This is another fight win from Supernova. They're starting to come back into these fights, but the bot's stolen once again, Jack.
Dude, leaving the car keys out on the pavement or something? I don't know. It's back in the mid. Yeah, look, Johnny. Freya, exceptional when she's comboed with any kind of slow movement impairing effect, and that vortex coming through from Astro just lined Jutsu up for those frags. Eventually taken back. They're going to get these cleanup kills. Peace will be respawning last, but it does give Sakura another chance here, Johnny, to stop Supernova from getting the checkpoint.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually really bad for Supernova.
Oh, wait, maybe not.
Maybe pushing to like 90 meters, but now you just now got the cap at 55. So Sakura, they lost that fight, but they actually mitigate almost all the cap from Supernova coming through.
Oh, Orbital Race going to come through from Zed. They want to make this fight fairly definitive. Oh, a Bola shot into the sky. Not sure where that one went X10. We'll ignore that. Ryan does eventually end up going down, though, but a return. Ray from Renko does have Sakura scurrying for cover.
That's a big ultimate, though. I feel like Supernova, you know, they're combining some of these individual mistakes with not capitalizing on teamfight wins, and Sakura, 5 minutes to go. I feel like Sakura should be really happy about the fact that we're looking at even meterage so far.
Yeah, big checkpoint take. Cinema goes a little bit low there. All good, though. Bola shot from Jutsu could be set. Oh, okay. Ambitious is a word I'd use there. Yep. There's the Terrasozo. He's going to bring everybody in, and now Astro, the main focus from Sakura. That rally from Grapes just a little bit too late there, Johnny. No overhealth at all built up from the Brigitte there. There's Sakura now. They can try and make some room. They end up taking away that forward spawn there from Supernova, so pushing it towards this checkpoint, Johnny. If they manage to get it, they're going to be in good stead to even up this map.
Yeah, Sakura with their opportunity now to run away with this map. You're going to get the cap here. Cinnabar's coming up on that sound barrier. I think neither team wants to play super aggressive here, but if either Peace or Exton could find an opening, that could mean that this map's snowballing out of control for Supernova.
A little bit rough too. They can't get a retouch, so the lead acquired for Sakura. I'm looking at Peace right now, Johnny. They got beat Blade, and what does Supernova have to counter it? They haven't got Rally anymore. Grapes used it in the last fight. They're going to have to survive somehow, some way. Ryan's got his own Blade, but this is going to be a monstrous performance from him. Well, there's the Blade, and there's the beat. And a beat Blade combo, a little bit better than the naked one there from Supernova. There's just no chance here, Johnny. Just the overwhelming amount of ults from Sakura is just going to win them the fight and secure them even more of a lead. 3 minutes to go. They've still got the Bola shot to set up for a combo. They win the next fight, Johnny. It is looking dire for Supernova.
Yeah, this is pressure on Supernova. Realistically, if you want to get back into this series, you need to win this next fight. But they don't have any ultimates. Renko's coming up on this orbital ray. But X10 sitting on this Bola shot. They could be the difference maker for Sakura here.
Oh, Orbital Ray. Zed almost gets taken out instantly, but Orbital Ray in return from Renko. But you got to make this fight defensive right now. A ball shot eaten by Astro, and there's the kill onto X10. Okay, Renko's ult getting large value in this fight, unlike the previous couple. And here he goes, Supernova with a team kill on Sakura, but they still need that meterage, Johnny. 55 to 104. They're lucky they've got the checkpoint, but the forward spawns are going to come into full effect now for Sakura.
Yeah, realistically, if you're Supernova, you need to win 2-3 fights here in under 3 minutes. Otherwise, you lose the series. Like, pressure is really on here for Supernova. Can anyone come up clutch here for Supernova and gain them some momentum?
I like this Sakura aggression too. They're just running in, they're just burning ults. Abolus connects with Clear, but shrugs it off, hits the fortify, and just walks away from it pretty much. Zed going down though is going to be a bit disastrous for the help of Sakura. But any kind of scrappy affair here as well for the team is going to be fine. Supernova can't overinvest ults, Johnny. Even with this fight win and the forward spawns being taken away from the opposition, they are still in dire straits.
Absolutely. Odds are against Supernova right now. But still winning that fight, I feel like that still gives them, you know, opportunity to come back into this map now, because you're building up towards this orbital ray, which would mean double support ultimate. Ryan coming up on this play as well. The map is here for the taking if Supernova wants it.
I really like the swap actually onto the Zarya. They know Peace is close to this blade, and all they need to do is just stall this out. They don't need to do anything too crazy here. Ryan with the blade on the sidelines, got the backup of Grapes, who has the rally. They just need to now focus down Clear. Clear just explodes with the health bar go. Astro finds 2 kills, and in fact, this bot is being stolen away, but not for too much longer. Peace tried to once again make a hero play. Sakura, though, still rounding the corner of this sound barrier, Johnny. It's the beat versus this rally from Grapes, and it has to be a large one. If this rally gets taken out by Peace, it's over.
Yeah, Sakura, they put it all into this fight, saved all possible ultimates for our last fight here. But Grapes finds a pick on Dixon.
An early pick, a beat only hits 4 there from Sakura as Ryan and Peace pull the blade. Renko does end up falling over, but there's no rally here, there's no Ray here, sorry, from Supernova, and this rally's run out. But so now, there's just absolutely no healing. Peace could just reset after reset, as Zed just unleashes the orbital ray, but Supernova managed to take the lead. They've got 2 meters above Sakura, so somehow in that fight, Sakura let go. They let it slip through their fingers, and now they are the ones that have to be perfect.
Entering overtime, and Sakura here. We're going to have overtime spawn, so might just be the one fight that determines the entire game. X10 sitting on this Bola Jack could end the entire map with a great well-timed ultimate.
Going for the flank as well. The bot has been halted in the middle of the map. Renko is 1 HP now. X10 kind of alone. It's got clear for backup, but the Terrorist is just going to grab them in, and X10 ends up going down. With her falling, I mean, the damage output here from Sakura is kept to a minimum. Peace also ends up going down, so DPS dead from Sakura. Supernova with a miraculous comeback. Just need to clean up the supports now and clear on the point. A Graviton Surge available from the Zarya, though, could be what they need. A grab on the car, takes down Jusu, and also falls. Clear has kept them in this with a triple kill on the Zarya.
But this actually means that Supernova, they'll get one more fight here. They're coming up on double support ultimate, so that Graviton is a huge investment from Clear. Perhaps felt like they needed to use it. But this also allows Supernova the opportunity to get back in this map here and perhaps survive
One more touch.
Hardest overtime.
There's a rally, there's an orbital ray. It's all on the supports now. One of them goes down early, it's basically over. Zed just hoping, praying that Clear takes enough damage so they can get the ray. Ray unleashed, but no! Before Red, he was mid-cast! Zed was mid-cast and couldn't heal Clear. The ray ends up coming in as well as that sound barrier, but this rally is just going to be too great, surely. This overhealth building up. Sakura needs kills, but they are not going to find them. Ryan closing in on the blade, doesn't even need it. A Supernova come back in a big way on Runa Sapi.
Wow, what a Runa Sapi. It's not often you go to, with both teams getting over 100 meter, you come down to overtime. Oh, wow. Sakura almost able to make the comeback there. But I felt like overall, the story of that map is Supernova. They were the better team, in my opinion. A few mistakes here and there Obviously, they really had to toughen out that map to be able to win that map, but overall, a good showing there from Supernova, which now, looking at the rest of the series, a comeback here is possible, Jack.
Yeah, heads above water, ever so slightly. Like that turnaround there from Clear hits the grav on the car, kills the Freya. It's like, okay, it's actually just straight winnable. Like, you're relying, that final fight, Johnny, you're relying on your support staying alive. You're relying on Zed healing Clear in the front line, but Zarya against a Ram, it's just not it for the Zarya. Like, those bubbles aren't lasting long. Like, you want to apply them to Peace, apply them to X10 so they are safe to like make an aggressive push, make an aggressive like dash into the backline. But the Zarya just crumbles against the Ram. And then you saw Zed halfway through that animation of the orbital ray coming through, and the Zarya, the health bar just gets deleted, Johnny. A Hail Mary attempt there from Sakura, but Supernova keeping their heads above water as we go on to the next map. Sakura now with their first map choice of the series.
Yeah, it's really tough there because we were praising Clear for the Zarya swap, right? Because you pick it into the Orisa, right? But then the counter Ramatra swap comes through, and it's already so tough in overtime because it forces a Zarya now to stick onto the bot, right? And that's where Supernova, it's easy pickings for them. They recognize we can just run over the Zarya. You can't really blame Clear, right? Because the tank needs to stick on the bot in overtime. And Zarya is just not a good hero to do that. Doesn't have that presence onto the bot. So Supernova, I thought, did really well to play around Clear Zarya.
Yeah, really nice stuff so far. Supernova, you said it, Johnny. The comeback's real, but even you said it, in that Runa Sapi, Sakura did still look like the better team. We'll see if the rest of the gang can pull it together and take us to a map number 5. We're going to jump to a quick minute break, and we'll be right back with map number 4, Sakura's pick, first time in the series. All right, welcome back. I may say a minute, but it's, you know, it's 3. You know the vibes. All right, let's get in this King's Row or Scrim's Row for Sakura, Johnny. Supernova taking that Runa Sapi map. One of the craziest, like, back and forth Runa Sapis we've seen in a little while. It was the first Sakura kind of dominating. Supernova ended up getting 2 meters over that golden line, and then Sakura unable to get in the reflip at like 104 meters. Insane stuff and sheer tenacity there from Supernova to keep them in the series. But as we go to Kings, Arisabat from Sakura, and there's a Kiriko bound on the other side for Supernova.
Yeah, they want to get rid of this Orisa now, but, you know, where does that lead us on King's Row, Jack? I feel like we're not going to escape, you know, some of these brawl compositions. We'll see the first point. The first point, you know, you always see some kind of variety. You can see all kinds of heroes on the first point. You know, Hanzo Mercy, why not, Sakura? Bring her out.
I mean, I think it's just for the shot, Johnny. That okay. Well, we have seen silly things from Hanzo over the last, like, few weeks, right? We see, like, random kills onto the first point, so, all right. Maybe it would work, but doubtful. See if Supernova, what they're doing. I've got an Astro on the Ram again. Don't mind this at all, actually. The Ramatra, even against the Hazard, it can be quite tough. Like, having the Vortex, obviously the Ramatra or the Hazard wants to get the high ground really quickly, really easily. That's going to be the idea from them. But Supernova, their ability to stay on point, it's going to be up to Sakura to get large picks to actually win this first cap.
Yeah, I think this is just both teams playing the comfort, right? Because we talk about Clear, loves to play the Diva, but also, you know, the Hazard were available, but then Astro, I'm very happy to play the Ramatra, even though we've seen mostly Orisa from them so far in Stage 2 here. And with that Kiriko ban, especially, you know, Juno Brig makes sense, so pretty standard compositions here. What is to be expected from both teams? Let's just see if they can utilize their different play styles to perhaps find an opening here on the first fight. And Astro takes a ton of damage to kick us off.
All right, I spoke about staying power on the point for the Ram. Yeah, as soon as that Nemesis form disappears, you're dead. The focus fire, honestly, from Sakura. You saw X10 that entire time. All she's doing is just shooting Astro. A little rough for the Ram. All good, though.
Yeah, I can't say it's the best King's Row defense I've ever seen in first point, Jack. But, you know, it's a second point kind of composition, right?
Sure. Dude, he's coping. He's coping right now.
Come on, Ram, Juno Brig.
Surely Street's phase.
Way better on the second point than first.
Surely. We'll see. We'll see if one of the Freyas can get a random 2 hit. They're trying. Usually it's 1. Yeah, not to be though. Super easy to kind of get away from the Freya here though, to be fair. A lot of cover. Astro, they do end up losing control of this archway pretty easily. In fact, I don't think they really had control of the archway at all. And now just checking Ryan on the sidelines. Tracer against this comp is going to be tough to execute as well for Ryan, Johnny.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Pretty limited here on the flanks, but I feel like you're eyeing Astro here on the Ramatra, like you pointed out on the first point, right? It's going to be bowler shot here.
That's a really good bowler shot.
Sakura.
Yeah, the follow-up there is just immense. Like, Diva's just thrustering in. You've got Peace as well, just dashing into the backline. If that bowler connects for Sakura, it's over. Nice recess there from Peace too, looking clean. And that's Blade in 20%.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Sakura are doing such a great job playing around this Diva because they're putting a ton of pressure onto Astro, which forces Astro back because, like you said, you put the Nemesis form, you don't have a lot of survivability, right? And you have to back off. So Sakura, they're just sitting back, they're poking, and they're waiting for the right time to engage with this double speed. And so far, Supernova is struggling with all this pressure coming out.
Okay, to Blade in 10. Okay. Orbital Ray, though, from Zed. I mean, surely this is just an easy fight. That focus on to Astro is going to be nice, and the bolus is eaten by Clear. Johnny, fight's done, I'm afraid. Nice little reflect on the bowler shot, too. Does the Brig get away? Looks like it, but unfortunately, Supernova just kind of fallen over. Being honest, Johnny, 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think they're going into these fights and they're kind of struggling to, you know, find something to engage on. Like, they're walking up to contesting the payload, but if you're looking at Sakura composition, like, who are you going to punish? Who are you going to put pressure on? Sakura's just sitting pretty right now. Very comfortable on the stack.
control on the side ground is going to be really important. You can see Astro struggling to maintain it. And there's the picks, right? That's the kill that you want. A pick onto Peace just shuts down the D.Va as well in a way, because you can't follow up after a nice shot without the Genji normally to get a kill. So a kill onto Peace is good. Gonna maybe even hold a little bit further up here for Astro. Just make sure Sakura are fighting for every meter.
Yeah, I mean, they want to make it difficult for Sakura to walk up here. Astro is going to take some poke. They have double support ultimate here to bail them out if needed.
Oof. Astro's already used so many CDs. Peace ends up beat blading here. I don't really find too many targets. They're a little bit scared of the break, and I would be too. A full armor on Grapes is looking good, looking rather strong there in the front line. Engagement completely thwarted just by that rally, although the orbital ray is going to help Supernova. On top of that, the healing and the extra damage. Genji can't stay on for too much longer. And nice little G-suit as well. Slowly but surely, they are trying to make this. But wait. Okay, Clear hits the Remake 2K with that self-destruct. Just out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, you take that. Well, Reiko said he's going to come out with a kill as Juicy and Ryan, they're going to do them one better. Okay, Sakura, we're back. Johnny, everybody calm down.
My God. How did I get back? That was just an insane sequence of events right there. But Supernova, they hold strong despite the 2K.
Dude, I think Graves is just getting run down by Clear, I think. Just that shield broke and the bomb exploded in their face.
Oh, no.
All right, but on a hazard matchup now for both tanks.
Yeah, Sakura's been kind of stopped here, putting pressure onto Ryan. Trying to clear this off angle, but this allows Sakura as well to get a bit more involved, find these engages so far, but just both tanks trading for now. Trading a little poke.
Supernova can get active in the front line now. They got this downpour. Astro waiting to get topped off completely. Slowly but surely, it's just on the first ult. Astro's trying to set up for this, but Supernova happy waiting. They're happy waiting for Sakura to try and make a move. You can see them not really overstaying their welcome. They're not pushing too deep, thinking they can maybe get solo picks. Just a tempered game Supernova are playing currently.
Yeah, this high ground has really served Supernova well, and Ryan doing good things on the off angle here as well. Sakura struggled to walk up so far. They have an orbital ray here now, though. This could be the help they need to try and put some pressure onto Supernova and open up this third point.
And Reko's not too far away either, 5%. All right, Bolus shots connects with the floor, though Cinnabar still takes a little bit of damage. There's the orbital ray from Renko and Zed. Pulsar torpedoes connect with multiple targets for Zed. A little bit too scared to peek their little faces out around that corner. And once more, Supernova handily dealing with Sakura's push.
Yeah, it's actually a great ray from Renko there as well. It's a better ray. Sakura not able to capitalize on their orbital ray at all because they were just so pushed back. They didn't have any space to walk with it. And that was a big ultimate for Sakura. You've been struggling on this third point for what feels like, 3 minutes at this point. And you're thinking orbital ray, that is one big tool they have to open things up. But now Supernova with a really impressive hold here on third.
Astro just gets walled in alone. This is so sad. A very aggressive rally though. Peace has got the blade, gonna pop it. Whoa! I mean, that's just an easy kill. A nice follow-up there from Peace. X10, it lands the bowler shot on the aggressive brick bash. And now they finally unlock this payload. They're making it pop. They're getting a popper, Johnny, with only a minute to go. 4 minutes, by the way, Ryan, have been like demolished from Sakura's time. Ryan just getting a nice little 2K with a pulsar connection onto the flare, keeps themselves in this. Supernova finding these miracle picks, Johnny, as Ryan in the end just comes up clutch. They're looking at an overtime push at the minimum here now.
Yeah, Supernova, they find themselves back into these fights after Sakura wins the initial positioning. And now, like you said, 30 seconds on the timer. You only really have this downpour. Can you find a pick with it? Here goes.
Downpour. Astro, where's the follow-up? It's good supportive covering fire there from Ryan and Jutsu, but still the ire was drawn towards the Hazard, who was completely immobile. Jutsu now tagged with a bolt from X10. Another big kill. Zed doesn't end up falling, but Sakura do have the manpower on the point to win this fight. Overtime push now without the tuner, but they still got the bolus in hand. Astro's going to be able to get the final touch, though, Johnny.
Final touch here. Big bola onto Astro. Mitigates a lot of that damage, but it's just, do you have the sticking power on the point here?
I mean, maybe, but the Spawn points are just so close. They're going to be able to regroup so quickly. XTEM finds yet another pick onto Jutsu. The Sombra ends up falling, but Astro just locking this point down. The survivability that has is coming into full effect right now for Supernova. An OT push might have just been halted. XTEM trying to go for another pick, but has to step all the way up onto the point to try and get something done. But Jutsu comes back from spawn, gets revenge, and that is where the payload will end. Sakura with a 5-minute time bank onto third, halted. Supernova with a hell of a defense there. Just tempered aggression, Johnny. Didn't overextend all too much, and then hero play from Ryan too on the Tracer. Yeah, okay, their head's firmly still in the game. And look, Supernova need to make this one work, Johnny, to keep them in this series and take us to a map 5.
Yeah, some real hero efforts to keep them alive there on the third point defense. Ryan, like you said, find a couple of 2Ks when those fights broke down. And, you know, it even looked like Sakura was going to be able to cap out there. But like you said, the respawns, they came in time for Supernova. And now with a great opportunity to win this King's Row as well, and potentially facing a 5-map scenario. You gotta give credit to Supernova here. I think they've looked really good on Runa, and here on King's Row, they find a way to make the defense work. They've been looking impressive so far.
Let's get a quick Supernova listening. They're down 2 maps to 1. See how their heads are spinning right now. See how those cogs are turning in their brains as we get a listening.
+1 hotel, and then me Hazard go mid. You can shoot Hazard out first, and then if we see a trigger in hotel, look Hazard.
Yeah, I think
Hazard uses lead. I'm not saying push, I'm saying shoot. Like if
I think I want to try going top right, in my opinion.
Yeah, clear. Yeah, look clear.
I'm gonna go Hanzo and Sona.
Okay, I'm playing Hazard then, it's good. Maybe we can just kill Genji and go bottom up. Like, lean away from Genji or Haz and go bottom up. Can you
no fly, we can go.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, going bottom up, Kill Genji.
I'm bolted. I knew you were coming.
Leave in the room.
Genji.
Have to trade. Genji low.
Dead. I'm living.
Fair one, dead.
Good trade die fast. That's just not doable. Someone needs a block diva.
Okay, yeah. Oh, listen, let's do it slower.
What's my favorite call of all time? I think that's your job, actually. Yeah, that diva kind of... You love to see it. It's just like a rank game. You see Clear there. As soon as Supernova made that push through Hotel, Clear was hot on their tail, Johnny.
Yeah.
Renko's just gonna die.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, just completely soloed. Bit of a split focus there by the looks of it for Supernova.
Yeah, I hope that initial push, Jack, I hope it doesn't, you know, mean that Supernova, they will now be too cautious here in that first point, because when you think about what has made Supernova great these past couple of maps, I really feel like it's the fact that they've been more aggressive. You know, the way they punished Clear on the Zarya, then on that third point there, their stand here on defense, came down to them making plays, being aggressive. And so they get shut down here on that first fight on King's Row. Now they have to find a way to find a target to initiate on. Get a pick here and there, and then snowball with spawns.
Oh, that's a good ult as well from X10. Kind of locks Jutsu in place there for a second, but Renko and Grapes with the heals, and they're coming in clutch. Still though, X10 can back up. You got to make sure, keep the Freya healthy though, can't get too tapped. Ryan with a pulse bomb. Can he make another hero play? Actually does. Oh, Ryan! A blink smack in the skies, kills Peace, recalls away as well from the self-destruct. Okay. Beautiful stuff Ryan so far, but can they deal with this orbital ray on the point? I mean, Astro's not going to be long for this world as X10 chases them down. And despite the heroics from the Tracer, Supernova, they get 49%, but that's about it. Sakura, they might be able to regroup in time. This Clear is still alive, tagging this point up.
They have the rally, but Graves is gonna bash away. Doesn't want to go aggressive with it. They have double support ultimate here, does Supernova. And they're going for a flank. They're pushing once more.
Oh, see Ryan smart on Tracer. Downpour connects. Oh, Peace. The saddest blade you'll ever see there. The downpour connects with the Genji and an instant kill. Supernova. All right. That's the fight. That's the points. They get their payload going.
Yeah, so it takes them a little bit longer than they would have liked, but that fight prior, it really comes down to an unfortunate timing of ultimates. Because I think they would have liked to invest support ultimates earlier, but they weren't quite able to build them in time. Astro goes down, and it just gets to a pretty awkward scenario. But They do get the first cap here, after all, 3.5 minutes on the time bank, and you're still able to keep that orbital ray, so this could be Supernova now. Potentially getting another shot at coming up with an impressive attack here on King's Row.
Yeah, can't let Ryan hang around on the flank, so Clear's there with the check. Oh, and even Peace, actually. Okay. Nice kill on the Tracer. See, through 3 minutes. Now, this orbital ray advantage from Supernova, it should be a fairly easy push.
Yeah. It needs to be. Need to capitalize on this.
Oh, okay, Astro. Backing up the Tracer a little bit there. Making sure Ryan's got a free avenue to flank, or attempt to. You're going to try and claim as much free space as possible and pop the ray when they desperately need it. But looks like Sakura actually respecting this push. Is that going to back all the way up, Johnny?
And it's a little scary because, yes, you're close to the orbital ray, but coming down to a single fight scenario here on point B, this needs to work out for Sakura, otherwise they're in trouble.
But they popped it, but where are the kills? Sakura actually just wrapped around completely. A full 5-man wrap around the streets. However, Supernova still control the payload, Johnny. There's no contestation currently. Eventually now they try and make the push in as X10 looks for a bowler shot, but completely whiffs. A couple of shots onto Renko won't, though. A double hit from the Freya, and even a bonus eat from Clear should make sure Sakura secure this payload, stop it from moving. And a nice full-man wraparound again, Johnny. Sakura, they're just one mind, like one brain, you know, just completely working as a team, being able to wrap around, make sure they get away from that orbital ray initially. 1 minute and 38 seconds to go for Supernova with a very empty ult bank.
Yeah, you have to give credit to Sakura's communication there. They know their win condition. They want to stall out that fight and do a beautiful job rotating, and they make sure they win that single fight, not allowing Renko to get value from the orbital ray. And now, minute 20, Jack. Suddenly the pressure is on here for Supernova.
They're taking a lot of damage in the front line. Self-destruct, so additional life there for Clear. They've got the rally in 10. Peace and Ryan at Taylor's oldest time at this point, dueling out on the flank. Oh my! Okay. He's so clean with it on the Genji. It is disgusting to watch Peace on this. Pops the blade. Everybody's all grouped up. Not sure I even needed it, to be honest, but just the star points, I'll take it. 1/2 kills. Put that on the highlight reel, Peace. 40 seconds to go and a small stagger onto Jutsu as well. Final fight for Supernova upcoming, Johnny.
Oh, so nasty. What Genji play we've seen this series from Peace. Just a phenomenal performance. Now Supernova. Look, they need to build this orbital ray. You need this big ultimate to help you across the finish line here on the second point. But Sakura, they have tools of their own. Or a bola shot here from X10 could be a huge opener.
Oh, Ryan, I mean, still not wavering. Despite Peace's permanent engagements onto the Tracer. A good bowler shot into the backline though as Renko ends up going down. Well, they're not going to earn that orbital ray now, Johnny. One support dead, and another one too though as Cinnabar ends up going down, but X10, and this is just descended into chaos. Supernova, they don't know what struck them from the skies as X10 is just going to be able to clean this one up. The Brigade there for Supernova is not in this fight whatsoever. It's Astro on the point versus Clear. Eventually Grapes is going to come in with a couple of packs to heal up the hazard, but Sakura, they also need to regroup. Cinnabar jumps over to the Lucio to get back to the rest, get back to the team in time as Clear comes back in at full HP.
Renko can't die. Renko has his ult. This is actually a big win condition for Supernova. Very winnable.
2%. And Ryan's got a pulse bomb. Again, another heroic Tracer play is required for Supernova. And Ryan's going to have to be the one to do it. But still, you have to get past this mech from Clear. They're going to look like they're going to focus down Zed. But another orbital ray is going to match on the point. 4 meters to go as Clear eats the bolus once again. But Ryan with a good pulse bomb. But can they follow that up with some more kills? A rally bash onto Peace, but straight back into the action as he dashes straight towards the brig. Another bash and a stun and a whip shot onto Peace. Supernova might have just done it again. Jutsu kept alive in the skies. A defense mage is kind of frustrating to get around as Clear finishes off the Freya, but Supernova have done it. In OT, they get the cap.
They've been so clutch throughout this entire series, and now once more, looked like their backs was against the wall. It was all but over. But Supernova, they get back. They buy enough time for Renko to get back with the Orbital Ray. And they punish Sakura. Now, another minute to go here to keep their hopes alive, Jack, and stay alive in the series.
This downpour is going to be pretty pivotal to their success right now. They've only got a minute to work with. Pretty easy location to downpour as well. Everything's so enclosed. Looks like Sakura want to go a little bit aggro, though. You can even see Cinnabar stepping up to the plate. A violent leap from Astro, but Juicy's already dead. A quick reset is required, Johnny.
Yeah, you got time. You got time here. Obviously, it's scary right now. Sakura. A lot of poke here coming through from Sakura. But yeah, you will have enough time to build these support ultimates. And, you know, it's ultimately going to come down to these. But then again, we've seen so many playmakers on either side. Peace on the Genji so far this series. Ryan on the Tracer for Supernova. This is where they could make a difference.
Astro's trying to create space, but he's super low. Astro's going to get bullied out here. Blade's going to get popped as well. They're just going to focus down the hazard. Blade from Peace kills Renko, and with 10 seconds to go, Supernova, it's lights out. Peace with a double, and there it is. An early push, Johnny. No chance for Grapes to build the rally either. Like you said, it was all on the support ults, and guess who didn't need him? It was Sakura. No one's there to touch, and they're going to finish out King's Row and take the series 3-1.
Yeah, really sweating this series out, but they do get to win. Relatively clean fashion, 3-1 there, but wow, the fact they were able to punish Astro, I feel like that was a big difference maker there. It was a bit of an awkward push for the hazard, but Sakura, they navigate around it, they shut him down, and they come away with the win on King's Row after all.
But wow, this was so clutch from Supernova, which I'm sure has been very frustrating on the other side of Sakura, because there are just so many moments where they kind of let them back into the game. I also love the mental warfare with Zarya. I don't know what's going on there, but it tickles me like nothing else. So yeah, a very interesting match, more evenly matched those two teams, but Sakura definitely coming in as the favorite and proving us why that is. They have been praised by quite a lot of other teams as well. Just last week, I think Grape said, no, who said that in the interview? Was it? Who was it?
I can't remember.
You remember
yeah,
last week? Someone else like pointed them out and was like super adamant about Sakura just being like the team. Like,
it was
so good.
Supernova.
Underrated. It was Grapes, wasn't it?
Yeah, it might have been Grapes actually. You might be right. What a memory on you, Zoe.
I know. Throwbacks. I remember talking to people and what they answer usually.
You talk to a lot of people.
Big brain. I do talk to a lot of people. Yeah, either way, this was a very dominant showing. I'm wondering how far they can take it, though. Like, looking at the rest of their stage, they do have SSG coming up. If SSG is playing the way they have, Sakura might be a real test for them.
Man, this, I mean, it is gonna be, that is gonna be a banger.
Is that gonna be the doomsday, like, match for SSG? It might be.
Surely,
I think Sakura
beats them,
right?
Surely. I mean, Sakura are the team to punch up. I mean, Johnny, we mentioned it a few times throughout the series. Like, this team is just on the same page. Every single fight, every single rotation, every single like.
I do love it.
Yeah, like the hive mind comp. They are like, it's really good from them to just continue this, and it's been one of their main strengths. They've had a lot of hero plays from Peace and X10, but what it comes down to is just being able to. I mean, it sounds stupid, but like just pure teamwork and just pure like nice rotations. You know when to use your ults.
That sounds stupid in a team shooter.
It sounds stupid. It sounds silly. It's like obviously they've got good teamwork, but like
other teams don't have that.
On point.
Well, I feel like teams who play proactively like this, right? Like they go for like rotations, and they just don't play straight up time after time, and relying on individual players to pop off. I think the team last week that really stood out was GK. I thought GK played really smart, right? And it showed because they had these rotations, and the teamwork was phenomenal. But I think that Sakura kind of tried to replicate that, right? They were beautiful rotations, like you said, and a Zarya swap here and there. Maybe it's a little easier for them, but they got punished here and there. I think you can fix some of those mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, Sakura knew their win conditions, and that was very clear from like map on 1 onwards, right? So like ball is posing a struggle, they start focusing the ball, and they're all on the same page in their approach with their game plan, and clearly that results in the dubs. Now, speaking of dubs, we do have a winner joining us for a quick chat. I believe it's Peace. It is! Yay! Hi, welcome back. Great to see you again. Peace, another dub on the board for Sakura. I have to ask about the Zarya though. Like, okay, so like Supernova coming in, they're banning that Zarya. Are you guys picking it? Is that mental warfare? Like, what's going on there? Because Zarya is like obviously not being played very much right now.
So we know that Clear can't really play too many main tanks, and Supernova was a little mental blocked by Zarya, so we've been playing Zarya a little bit in our scrims against Ori comps for a little bit, and we had good success. Unfortunate C9 on Runa, but we would have won the map.
Oh.
What do you guys think about your next match? Like, you're against SSG, they're kind of slacking a little bit, it feels like you guys punching up, and your hive mind teamwork, like, you look good, you look clean, especially on the Genji. What's the confidence levels for you guys going into SSGs?
Well, we know like they've been slacking a little bit. We're not like the best scrimmers, but I think we're more of a match day team. Like, we show up a lot of match day. I don't know if you guys had commented or anything, but like, I was screaming, Clear was screaming, my backline was saying everything they needed to. Even my hitscan was talking a lot, which is like the whole like no hitscan talk thing. So I think we're more of a match day team. I fully believe it'll probably be like a barn burner like map 5. Like, but I think we can totally win, and we can show the world what we're really about.
Yeah, we praise your teamwork and especially your rotations as a team. Like, who comes up with those ideas? Who would you say like is the primary caller behind some of those rotations? Because especially I thought on point B, I don't know if you remember the fight specifically, but you're trying to build this orbital ray, and so you kite them around, you contest the card from the other side, stuff like that. Like some nice little rotations here and there that make a big difference in the outcome of some of these fights. So who's coming up with those ideas?
Mostly Clear. Clear was the only one screaming about the judo rotations on the fights. And NZ, it's a mix of Clear and Z. They're like mostly the IGL. I just call them my ult plan and my side fight. But those two are the ones who make the real secret magic happen, you know?
No, teamwork makes the dream work. That teamwork was on full display today. Peace, however, we do of course always give a player of the match for each of every match, and you are our player of the match for this one, so congratulations. Yay! The award means nothing, but people still get excited, and I love that.
No, it means something. Come on, Zoe. Well deserved, Peace. You popped up.
Well, but we don't give them anything. Like, it's just like, it's like a verbal award. I don't know. Like, are we into verbal awards? Peace. What does it mean to you to receive part of it?
I love playing the match because, like, I started from the bottom. Like, I was in Melanation on B-sides. I was thinking about that recently. I got 11. I got 12. Amplified with PG and Danny and that team, I got 11. Every time something like this happens to me, it means the world to me. Because that means people thought I played good enough.
I love it.
Something that I deserve. That feels so great to me.
Okay, you know what? I'll take everything back.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go.
Is that like the striker egoist thing? Like, I love the idea that I played the best.
It is. Can we start like host of the day and like caster of the match? Like, I feel like we need a little pat on the back once in a while too.
I'm so
Maybe
happy
players
for you,
can start
Peace.
handing those out. Yeah, Peace, we're super happy for you. We're so happy for the team, and we wish you best of luck in your match against SSG coming up. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, I'll be back here next week.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Can't wait to see you again. Thank you so much. Peace.